Hello, friends. It's Steve, also known as M. Bacons on MTG Arena. I'm here today with a ninja-themed deck list from the new Kamigawa Neon Dynasty set. We're going to jump in here and get to a few games that I feel are illustrative of this particular deck list, and then we'll meet up afterwards and discuss some of the lessons learned. Hope you enjoy. Hello, friends. It's Steve, here with our post-game wrap-up. So what did we learn today? Well, first off, an early one-drop flyer into one of these lords is pretty decent. Works out pretty well when it works. The Silver Fur Master in particular is very useful in a deck like this. Even making these ninja abilities just 1 mana cheaper is often the difference between getting to use them and not. Hitting 3 and 4 lands can sometimes be a bit tricky. There's not a whole lot of card draw in the deck. So that's often the difference between playing and using these abilities and getting stuck with some of these higher cost abilities in hand. Next up, Kato, the new guy, is pretty decent. When he came down, the phasing ability was super useful, and most often I wanted to draw a card with him. So didn't really use the blue ninja ability too much, and definitely never got to try the emblem. But I think some mix of him in a deck like this makes a lot of sense. And then third of all, Glasspool Mimic is definitely your third Lord creature that you want in this deck. Most often that was what I was copying, was a Thought Thief or a Silver Fur Master, just to make all the other little guys that much better. What went wrong? The payoff ninjas definitely did not have evasion once they kind of hit the board. So while the Prosperous Thief was good, getting it to hit a second time was often pretty tricky. And then the Biting Palm Ninja has Menace when it comes down, but then if you use the counter, he's still just a 3/3 creature trying to get in there. So that was one thing that was a little difficult about working with these creatures in this deck. Lastly, Thousand Face Shadow looks really good. Occasionally had some great effects where you can copy another Lord creature, but you got to remember that it only works on attacking creatures. So if you're leaving back a Silver Fur Master, for example, and you go to attack with this, you can ninja it in and then copy nothing if it was the only attacking creature. Take it from personal experience. That definitely happened. All right, so what can we do to make this better in the future? Well, here's where I would go from here. I would add in a little bit more hard removal, something like a Blood Chief's Thirst, make way for some of the ground-bound creatures that we have in this deck. Next up, I would definitely increase and play the full 4 of Prosperous Thief. The ninja ability only costs 2. It's the perfect second turn play to make the rest of the deck just hum along nicely. Make sure you can afford those higher cost creatures. I would also try, if you're seeing a lot of artifacts, Thieving Skydiver fits very nicely into this deck, and if you can pick up some cheap vehicles, some cheap equipment, it could make the difference again for some of these ground-bound creatures that don't have their evasion once they kind of lose that element of surprise. I would also try some instant draw spells. I think some mix of something like Thirst for Discovery and Kato would work really well. Most often, again, when I was playing Kato, I was hoping for more cards, more spell pierces, just something else to help make the difference. So I think some mix of that might be correct. And finally, maybe this deck just doesn't want to mess with the ninja abilities that much. Maybe it just wants to be a rogue deck. In that case, you could fit in some Thieving Skydivers and some Nighthawk Scavengers, along with some extra spell pierces, some negates, maybe a little bit of removal, and just kind of play it more like a straightforward aggro flyers deck, or a sort of a merfolk style deck where you play out some early creatures, you make them all bigger with your various lord effects, and you protect them all the way to the end of the game. Who knows? But anyway, it was fun to try it out. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you have any suggestions for a ninja style deck list. If we've totally missed something, let me know. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all next time.